Happy Earth Day. My name is Robert Scott Perry. I would like to be the next senator from the state of Rhode Island, the great state of Rhode Island. I love this place. I want to be here for a long time. But we are all limited in the time that we spend on this earth. I'll do my best to figure out what we need to do to keep the earth safe, to keep our citizens safe. Now, I believe we made a mistake sending Jack Reed to Washington. Indefinite detention was Senator Reed's responsibility. It was from his committee that a rule was placed into the National Defense Authorization Act that allowed the administration to jail, keep in jail, not give a trial. Indefinite kind of explains itself. There's no rule about age. It says nothing about what country you're in. Indefinite detention. I think it speaks for itself. That aside, that alone would disqualify Jack Reed from being a senator, if you ask me. We should also expect our senators, I've written down a few things here, we should also expect our senators to protect us from unwarranted and warrantless searches of every private space we have. And yet, our Senator Jack Reed stood by while the government went wild. They collected every email, every phone call. They didn't have the ability. There is no technical way, there's no chance that they could use all that information to make us any safer. In fact, they didn't make us even feel safer. So they made us feel less safe, they made us less safe, and they charged us billions of dollars to do it. So I wondered to myself, why did we send a Navy SEAL to Washington? Didn't we think that maybe he would know a little bit about this stuff and keep an eye on it, and they wouldn't be able to slip something by him? But no, he didn't even mention it to us. I think we should also expect that our senator, would stop our government from torturing people. Not just because it is unconstitutional. Not just because it creates terrorists, but because it is immoral. Who are we? The United States of America. Who are we if we are not moral? We are nothing more than the mobs and the cartels who we have spent our lives cowering from. This isn't correct. Now, the crimes of the past decade aside, difficult though that is for me to do, we have pressing business. We need a living wage. $15 an hour is an absolute minimum wage. We have to end our use of oil, nuclear, natural gas, and coal, which means a big job. A big job that is going to require us to come together as a country, as a world. We must find a way to stop using old, dead fuels. They don't work. They destroy the environment. We spend our entire military budget practically on nothing but protecting those sources of poison that are destroying our earth. We must come together as a collective. We must come together as a collective of humanity and solve this problem once and for all. There's a simple solution. We stop using those dead fuels. Fossil fuels are dead. And if we don't stop using them now, our children will die. Our grandchildren will suffer. The world is at stake. Legalizing marijuana is beside the point. We can legalize and tax marijuana and cause much less damage than the legalization and taxation of alcohol ever did. Cocaine and heroin are complex, but if we don't decriminalize them, and offer treatment to those people who fall prey to those horrible drugs, then all we're doing is propping up the cartels and the mobs that we've spent our lives cowering from. No, we end it now. We need to do it now. It is time for Jack Reed to retire. His failures aside, the crimes of the government whilst he was part of it aside, it's time for a new way of thinking. 99 to 1. The odds are in our favor. The only help I ask is your vote. No money. I'm not going to ask any rich people if it's okay. I'm just going to run. See you out there.